cover up my Old North Noseman Air expert. This time rarity appeared. Survival in the swamp. Not only did he get to plump blue crabs, he even caught a big spicy strip as thick as an arm. Eating pink and tender loose eggs. Chewing on water-rich baobab roots. Living a small life is like being in heaven. In order to rise to the next level in the wilderness world, and he went to the mangroves of Madagascar. There are no penguins in the swamp. All they have is a fetid, rotten swamp. And the endless desert. Ride the Delhi General Woody. The old watch's 9-handed motorcycle arrives at the beach. Then change to local Audubiao hand-cranked luxury yacht. Into the depths of the mangrove swamps. Watching the Debiao brothers drive away quickly without looking back. Deyi's heart is mixed with 5 flavors. The mission is to travel to a village 40 kilometers away. As usual, no food, no survival tools, not even a hair. There's just a bunch of inedible filming equipment. Let's do a quick survey of the environment. Deyi packed his bags and set off along the swamp. But the ground here is muddy. Every step I take is like swimming in a cesspool. Not only is it very strenuous, it also affects the forward speed. Fortunately, Deyi has a lot of experience. Go into battle with your hands and feet, and crawl forward to successfully escape. But I didn't wait for him to catch his breath. A river dozens of meters, it blocks the way. This angry hare almost didn't explode. It's not that my father is afraid of swimming. Mainly listen to the locals. Underwater rattlesnake, focusing on outsiders who don't have long hair. They're killing machines. It's not a smart move to go into the water rashly. Sitting there thinking for 2.5 minutes. So I decided to go around. Walked forward for a while, floating in a shallow place. The bright choke arrives on the other side. The scary thing is, at this time, the temperature of the surface has come to more than 40 degrees. No hair protection. Deyi's braised eggs are sizzling and oily in the sun. At this point he was already dehydrated. And it got worse. The surrounding seawater, it's going up at a visible rate. Carrying dozens of kilograms of equipment on his back. Can't run away at all. This scared Taki. Fortunately, I trudged forward for a while. He found a relatively high sand patch. The ground here is very dry. It doesn't seem to have been submerged by the sea yet, so Deyi immediately decided to set up camp here. In the evening, the surrounding water surrounds the island, and this land is tall and dry. I have too. The most intelligent person has foresight. The time came the next morning. Day packed his bags and continued on his way. Today's task is to get out of the swamp in search of fresh water. The temperature today is even hotter than yesterday. Jade is facing the sun. Walked for 2.5 hours in a row. Finally stepped on dry and solid ground. Maybe the bald head is too reflective, frightening the silly bird by the side. Take a closer look and luckily find a nest of bird eggs. Deyi cracked open a pink and tender egg. It looks very tempting. Eggs are not only rich in protein, and there's a little bit of moisture. Deyi put it in his mouth without saying a word. Smooth taste melts in your mouth. It tasted surprisingly good. After replenishing his energy, Deyi continued to move forward. After a while, they came to a forest of baobabs. In the local area, the baobab is known as the tree of life. Hollow trunks and underground rhizomes. Not only is it rich in water, fruit and touch, it's also the food that the local people depend on. After traveling for so long, Deyi is already tired and thirsty. Just find a cool place and get ready to rest for a while. Long time no drinking water. Deyi's mind slows down. You see the vines coming down from the side. Based on my many years of experience, Tyre concluded that there must be tree roots underground, so I dug with a stick. In an hour. That's 2.5 hours. I finally saw the white tree trunk inside. That made DJ very happy. Then he quickly dodged and went down in one bite. Crispy yam flavor. It's full of water. Let Deyi be happy from ear to ear. Not to mention the protein content. It is still dozens of times that of beef. And in order to prevent the roots from being like their own hair, can't grow, Deyi also kindly reburied the pit. I'll deal with it here tonight. Come to day 3. Deyi, who is busy on his way. A few dropped monkey noodle packages were found. Breadfruit is rich in vitamins and trace elements. Dyer picked a whole break. Expose the pulp inside. Tastes a bit like cardboard. Fortunately, it can provide him with a wealth of energy. Day packs 2 and takes them away. Although the food problem is solved, but Deyi has never found a reliable water source. Trekked for a while, to a dry riverbed. The soil under my feet is very moist. Dig down. Maybe you'll find fresh water. not to mention more, not less. Yi took out the ruthless iron hand, and it was a dog planer. Sure enough, after a while, the soul inside spewed out. No need to filter and boil. Yi drank directly. It tastes delicious. It tasted surprisingly good. And in order to carry the hard-won fresh water, Yi drilled open the top of the monkey noodle package, then pour it in little by little with shells. It also packed to large cans. Yi was satisfied and sent out. I didn't expect to find an unexpected discovery on the way. A wild spicy strip curled up under a tree. This arm-thick spicy strip, Yi, is also the first time to see you, although it looks a little scary. But it's actually not cute at all. But think of the white protein on the layout. Lord De still has the courage to shake it down. Soon, the Lei Xiao was murdered and went to see the grandmother. Then quickly pack it into the import bag. Then hurry up and find a place to cook. Under a giant baobab tree. Defeat fire and refound employment. The climate here is dry and hot. It didn't take much effort for Yi to successfully raise the flame. Then put the whole Lei Xiao in the charcoal fire. And then they bury it on the surface with sand. Until night falls. Together, the fully color and fragrant grilled spicy strips are freshly baked. Yi couldn't wait to tear off a piece and put it in his mouth. Tender and juicy in one bite. Soft, waxy and sweet. The protein content is dozens of times that of beef. Yi was lying on the ground and couldn't stop eating at all. Finish this meal. Yi can finally sleep peacefully. As time comes to day 5, Yi's progress has been completed more than half. If nothing else, just keep walking along the riverbed. Reach your destination. And here's the bad news. The fresh water that Yi carried was running low. Until a new water source is found, Yi must rationally distribute the remaining fresh water. So Yi rushed while flowing the overflow source. But it goes from morning to afternoon. Yi didn't even find a single hair. Just when he lost hope, finally a puddle appeared ahead. Yi took a tentative sip. After confirming that it is fresh water, Yi began to drink. It's hard to find fresh water. Day naturally has to make good use of it. First, find a romantic treasure land nearby and set up camp. And then we come to the mangrove swamp near the water source. On the ground, caves large and small indicate that they are definitely in stock. And he just kept fiddling with it. I didn't expect him to catch a big blue crab. And it's not small. That's what got Day so excited. However, just as he was about to catch the second one, that let the crab teach him a lesson, accidentally took a blood. Fortunately, we successfully harvested 2 large blue crabs. Return to camp. Onion, ginger and garlic are not added. After 10 minutes, the aroma of crabs fills the entire camp. Yi sat in front of the fire and enjoyed the delicious food. Break off a fat crab leg and put it in your mouth. Fragrant and firm taste. Let Yi only feel full of happiness. Not to mention the protein content, thousands of times more than beef. Time has come to day 6. Yi started the final sprint. According to his sixth sense, not far from the village, and to confirm the way forward, Yi plans to climb the sand dune in front of him and take a look. Unexpectedly, the sand here is like touching butter. Yi slides back 3 steps for every step forward, and it got worse. The sand also reflects heat back onto the body. This makes him, every once in a while, time has to stop and rest. But this is not difficult for the extremely smart Yi. He resorted to roundabout tactics to climb the hill. Turn the corner and climb to the top of the mountain. I climbed to the top of the mountain unexpectedly, but I didn't expect that there was still a hill on one side of the hill. Can't see the end at a glance. This made Yi wonder if he was going in the wrong direction. To make matters worse, the fresh water on his body has also been drunk. Really tired, so Day raised the fire. Prepare to rest for the night before leaving. Come the next morning, the rejuvenated Yi began his long journey again. And so on until the afternoon. Footprints of cattle and sheep appeared on the ground over the last dune in front of you. The fishing village by the sea finally appeared. At this point, this challenge has come to a successful conclusion. Bother my old North Noses starvation expert who went hungry for 9 meals in 3 days. A 49.5 kilogram wild goat was picked up in Mongolia's polar region. Not only did he get a roomful of smoked lamb jerky, even caught a fat ground squirrel, and finally, some wild onions for an after-dinner snack. Not to mention how moist the whole trip was. When Yi arrived in the Altai Mountains of Mongolia, the temperature here is cold. year-round temperatures as low as -0. Even camels are born. Machines don't survive. Yi took the set group 9 yuan 9 free shipping for. Pump. A foot of peanut soybean hybrid oil arrives at the challenge site. As usual, no food, no survival tools. Rigorous day. I'm not even allowed to bring a single hair. The goal of this time is to go to a settlement 100 kilometers away so as not to freeze into old popsicles. Yi put on a down jacket for the first time, but still can't resist a chilling 80 km/h wind. Take a quick look at your surroundings. Yi found the forest on the other side of the lake. Experience tells him there should be more resources there, so without thinking, he decided to cross the lake. The lake was pretty solid at first. It can fully support the weight of Yi. I haven't waited for Yi to be happy for 2.5 minutes. The ice under my feet suddenly cracked. Frightened Yi to the point of turning pale. Stand still and don't dare to move. After calming down, he turned around and ran towards the shore. Play, 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 play. Don't joke about your life. So Yi decided to go around from the side. They say that if you don't die, you will be blessed later. Just walked forward for a while. Yi found that there was Sucho at the foot of the mountain. It looks like it's abandoned. He walks over, collects some supplies, tentatively knocked on the door. After making sure there is no one inside, Day began his scavenging journey. I was also lucky to pick up an ancestral tin can and a little piece of wool blanket that no one wanted. After collecting the materials, continue to go. It took more than 6 hours to trek. The sky has gradually dimmed. Dade. Then I realized I didn't even have a shelter. So I started looking around in a hurry to find a place to live. These towering trees. Looks like a good choice. Immediately decided to set up camp again. Take off your soaked clothes first. Then find some dry moss nearby as a mattress. I barely made it through the night. Come the next morning. Yi hurried out. If you're thirsty on the way, drink some glacier meltwater. And I saw some holes in the ground. Based on experience, it is inferred that it was left by the ground squirrel. Although passive skills are not yet punished, but since he saw Yi, he naturally refused anyone who came. First move a rock to block a hole. Then came the stream. I took it and poured it in through the hole. Sure enough, not for a while, a ground squirrel can't take it anymore and runs out. Yi was quick to subdue him. Visually, it should weigh 2.5 caddies. This made Yi very happy, seeing the addition of food. He walked another 10 kilometers in one breath, until there is a fork in the road. Yi planned to stop and rest. After traveling for so long, he was starving. And to save time, Yi gave up the traditional drilling of wood for fire. Extract the lithium battery from the camera. Connect the positive and negative electrodes with wire by short-circuiting the wire to heat and ignite the fire. Sure enough, I am not afraid to learn mathematics, physics and chemistry and travel all over the world. Tear into pieces, put them in a tin can, and simmer on high heat. While waiting, he's going to build himself a shelter. Still the classic sloping roof. Just build a wall and you're done. Wait until you're done. These fragrant ground squirrels are also freshly baked. Yi couldn't wait to enjoy it. The meat is soft and rotten in one bite and melts in your mouth. It's delicious to explode. Bite after bite. I couldn't stop eating, not to mention the protein content. It is still dozens of times that of beef. Eat, drink, and sleep until the next morning. After getting up, I went out of the law without washing my face. Unexpectedly, it didn't take long. The road ahead is blocked by a big mountain. Looking at the towering mountains in front of me, I had to take a detour. After 3.5 hours of walking, Curling reappears. Let Yi Flax be stunned directly. Fortunately, I have previous experience. Yi is convinced that the ice can support his weight. Then he walked up full of confidence. I will arrive on the other side in a while. With this shortcut, it saved him more than half the journey. And then he went up to the top of the mountain to determine his direction, but to walk towards the goal point. You must cross the mountain in front of you. However, due to too much gravel and snow on the mountain, as a result, Yi almost slipped down and gave alms in place. It seems that I don't see it from here. After thinking about it for half an hour, Yi still decided to return the same way. Choose a safe route to be safer. As the saying goes, you can't get lucky without losing a horse. On the way, I found a few eagles circling in the sky. Based on my 2.5 years of experience in jungling, Yi decided that there must be animal carcasses nearby. Sure enough, searched around. He actually found an ibex flapping down the street. At this moment, the goat carcass has been eaten more than half by birds. Make sure you can eat it. Yi is like a heart and lungs to the goat. After some scrutiny, completely meet food standards. Then he carried the goats back to yesterday's camp. Only by licking your stomach away can you have the strength to hurry. Yi picked it up. The paper separates the goat skin. Then I fried myself a few sheep balls with a slate. As for those fat and thin lean meat, smoked directly on the fire, to be used as the next rations. Come the next morning, the sky began to snow lightly. It's so white that I can't see the way forward at all. To be on the safe side, Yi decided to wait until the snow stopped before leaving. Then he turned around and buried the battle axe before the leg of lamb was dug out. Look at this steaming leg of lamb. Just looking at it makes people drool. Take a big bite and feel full of happiness. Not to mention the protein content. Thousands of times more than beef. Eat and drink. Yi came nearby again. I dug up some wild onions and stuffed them in my mouth. Soothing and appetizing. Meat and vegetarian combination. This meal directly made Yi let close his mouth from ear to ear. Day 5, the sky clears up. Yi packed his bags, take the dried lamb, and go out. Along the way, nibbling on jerky to replenish strength. Soon came to the gravel area. The terrain here is more rugged. Yi almost broke his knee accidentally. Finally got out of the gravel area. The front is covered with thick snow again. The sun-covered exposure melted the snow. Walk on top. A corner is deep and a corner is shallow. Very strenuous. Helpless, Yi had to stop moving forward. But that's not the worst. The noon sun reflected on the snow. It is easy to develop blood blindness in the eyes. Yi knew it was time to stop himself. He found a backlit surface. Took over 3 hours. He dug himself a bloody hole. Then take out the sheepskin as a compartment. Living in it is warm and comfortable. A happy can't hold back. Just send a give freak. The next day, before the temperature came up, the snow hasn't melted yet, so I continue my journey. At first it went well. But as the sun shines into the valley, the snow began to melt. Walk on this terrain. The energy consumption is 10 times higher than usual. To save energy, Yi can only bring equipment. Rolling on the snow. However, at this snail's pace, to reach the destination, I still don't know how to go to the year of the monkey and the moon of the horse. After much consideration, talk Yi, who has always been strong, or call the rescue team. As the pickup truck approaches, this challenge is also regrettable. Although Yi did not complete the challenge, but being able to see my wife and children safely is the most important thing. This is definitely the closest issue of Yi to the god of death. On the way, I came across a wild mine. Almost 8 people ate at a table, but other than that, the food this time is really not bad. Chewing on the tender charcoal and roasting millipedes, eating sweet and soft wild figs, and a whole bunch of fresh oil mushrooms. It's been a good little life. In this issue, Yi came to Fulwan Shana in Laos. It's been through decades of war. There are still many mines buried in the mountains and old forests. Yi, take a helicopter with 9 yuan 9 free shipping for the setting group. Arrive at the challenge location quickly. As the helicopter gradually rises, this challenge has officially begun. Without food, without survival tools, I don't even have hair. In the next 10 days, arrive at the pickup point 30 kilometers away. No immoral map. There is no compass. It also discerns the direction of progress based on the sun. He packed his bags and headed for his destination. But I didn't expect to just take 2 steps forward. God played a huge joke on him. The way forward was blocked by a mountain. It's an almost 90-degree cliff. It's really hard to get there. According to Yi's urinary properties, nature can go around, turned around, and plunged into the woods. But this road is not so easy to take. Here is not only the vegetation in Malming, and there are many thorns. Yi must be very careful with every step he takes. Walked for about 2.5 minutes. Yi suddenly realized that he might have gone wrong. Helpless, I can only return the same way and head west. However, compared to the difficulty of the road, his biggest headache was his thirst. Trekking through 30-degree jungle. If you don't drink water, you can easily get heat stroke. Eating Joe is when the virtuous industry is at a loss. A dazzling white light suddenly appeared ahead. When I got closer, I saw that it was a program blocking a small river. If you directly quote the river water, it is likely to chisel. But this time, the dying Yi can't take care of that much anymore. Just get down on the pier and pour a water castle. Solve the urgent thirst problem. Yi began to plan the next route. He judged that the river flowed northwest. If you make a valve and go downstream, it can save him a lot of energy and time. But considering it's getting late, and it's raining lightly, the plan to build the valve can only be put aside for a while. Let's find a place first. Night matters. This Lime City cave is a great choice. Hiding inside is not only dry and cool, you don't have to build a fire at night. And so the next day arrived. The jungle has returned to its former tranquility. I didn't eat any fried dough sticks and buns, just collected some dead wood from nearby. Tear off the ubiquitous rattan as a rope. First tie out a triangular mai. Then cover the surface with branches as a platform. In less than an hour, a beautifully crafted valve is complete. De also sat up expectantly. However, the German arm Chen Hao really lived up to his reputation. Not only is it about to sink, as soon as I sat on it, the whole person sank halfway. But none of that matters, as long as it can float on the water. That's all. De sat and drifted until the afternoon. He hadn't eaten anything for 2 days by now. The body urgently needs food to replenish energy. Saw a fig tree on the shore. Many red fruits hang on the tree. They docked the boat on the shore. Hooked those fruit trees down with bamboo poles. The crystal clear fruit tastes sweet and soft. The vitamin C content is still dozens of times that of beef. Did ate 2.5 caddies in one sitting. I see the sky is raining again. Dyer might as well stop here today. Dive into the woods on the shore to find shelter tonight. This hollow tree looks very nice. The length is just right. Wait until the rain stops. Dij sets out to prepare for life. Break a few bamboos with a stone knife. Make a fire saw and start rubbing like crazy. After half an hour, the flame came into being. The next step is to find a way to find protein. The nosy chongming indicates that there must be kun nearby. Catch a cricket every 2 steps. No need to cut the head and tail. Put it directly into your mouth to crunch. Chicken. The protein content is dozens of times that of beef. Then I caught a fat butterfly. Or put the meat in the mouth with wings. On the way back to camp, I saw another millipede. Throw it directly into the fire, grill it on charcoal, and sear it on the inside and tender on the outside. 12 medium rare, naturally crunchy, when put into the mouth. The protein content is thousands of times lower than that of beef. Come to the 3rd day of the challenge. Yi still hasn't found a suitable route to climb the mountain. Surrounded by towering cliffs, it's really hard to get there. I finally saw a gap in the front. When going ashore, almost fell into the river with no one on board. A day of paddling. Let's rest on the shore today. Come the next morning. In order to cope with the next high-intensity journey, Day tore down a few bamboos and used them as a kettle. Then he put on his gear and started climbing over the mountains forward on this steep road. Day dared not be careless with every step he took. Sure enough, the vose just fell. Day fell to the ground with one ankle. It doesn't matter if it doesn't fall. It really happened when you fell. I looked up and found a wild mai not far away. It seems that he is probably older than Yi. This scared Yi so much that his hair almost exploded. If you accidentally step on it, everyone in this room can't help but eat with 200 seats. Yi didn't dare to stay any longer. Quickly leave this place of right and wrong. We trekked forward for more than 3 hours. The fresh water he carried has been drunk. I finally saw the light at the top of the mountain. I hurried to the top of the mountain to take a look down. The beautiful scenery in front of you is refreshing. And Day's destination is in the distant valley. Confirm where you want to go. Day headed down the mountain non-stop. You also need to pay attention to whether there is fresh water around on the way. I don't know how long I've been walking. A stream finally appeared in front of me. Lie directly in the water and enjoy the coolness. Of course, don't forget the hair either. Then I drank some bath water to quench my thirst. There are still a lot of nuts falling on the river bank. Smash it open and it tastes like almonds. When exploring the surrounding area, and he found a whole swath of oil mushrooms. Lord De can't stop eating one bite at a time. In addition to that, an unknown wild fruit was found. Tastes smooth and smooth. It tasted surprisingly good. Good guy. I don't know. I thought he was shopping in the snack street. After going to bed on the 5th day of the challenge, Yi marches along the creek. With the challenge comes the 7th day. He finally reached the end of the stream. But another cave appeared in front of him. According to the wicked map viewed before, want to reach your destination, you have to go through this cave. After all, if you are taking a detour, it is difficult to complete the challenge in 10 days. Yi first stood at the entrance of the cave and briefly explored. Then find a dragon brain box. Its branches are an excellent material for making torches. First smash off the bark outside with a stone. Then raise a fire in the tree hole. Put it out with leaves when it's almost burnt, so that by tomorrow a lot of branches will flow out. Come and check the next morning. As expected, a lot of branches have been deposited inside. We have to collect them in bamboo tubes, then mixed with sawdust, wrapped in brown fish leaves. A torch is ready. And to prevent accidents, before entering, Yi specializes in assisting rescue personnel. He reported his plans, and then he dove into the cave without looking back. As soon as he entered, Yi was surrounded by darkness. The torch became his only means of illumination. And what's worse is that as we go deeper and deeper, the torch can't hold up anymore. The plum will be completely extinguished in a while. At this time, Yi can't see his fingers. I can only touch it forward with the dim light of the camera. So this makes it very uneasy. If you accidentally step on the air, the consequences will be unimaginable. Fortunately, a light appeared in front of me for a while. No doubt it must be an export. Yi is excited. I can't help but send out the fantasy of giving to give. As I walked out of the cave, buildings in front of you. This marks the successful conclusion of this challenge. I've got it, I'm gonna. This is definitely since they fought the jungle, the worst period. 7 days. Only caught a 2.5 bottle fish. Put it in the fire and bake until it is 12 medium rare on the outside and tender on the inside. There were no bones left in one bite. In addition to this, he also found the carcass of an alpaca, eating a crunchy chicken-flavored lizard sashimi. The whole journey was made up of willpower to the end. Yi came to the Atacama Desert in Bolivia. It's so high up here. The climate is dry and hot. The average annual rainfall is less than 5 millimeters. Plateau. It's more desolate than Yi's hair. Before the challenge begins, interact intimately with the local alpacas first, then ride the setup group 9 free shipping nuclear-powered helicopter. Arrive quickly. Challenge location. As usual, no food, without survival tools, not even a hair. The only equipment he carried was a big brother and a camera. Yi will be in the next 10 days. Reaching the reservoir 50 kilometers away. No immoral map, no compass. Yi according to the inclination angle of the shadow. Sure soon, the snow-capped mountains not far away are the way forward. Then he packed his bags and took off. However, on a plateau of more than 4,000 meters, carrying dozens of kilograms of equipment forward, Yi soon got tired and out of breath. And at this moment, he felt his mouth drying. See it go on like this, sooner or later the body will be hollowed out. So Yi decided to go down into the canyon ahead. Not only can you avoid hunters overhead, and we might even find fresh water in the valley floor. That's all. Yi walked at the bottom of the valley for 2.5 hours. Until noon. Since the shadow is in the middle, Yi can no longer judge the direction based on the shadow. He can only rely on the immoral map in his head. And so on until the afternoon. Yi noticed that the surrounding vegetation was getting thicker and thicker. The soil under our feet also becomes moist and we cut. Accompanied by Yi's lifelong enemies, a river more than 10 meters, I'd appeared ahead. Too late to hesitate. Just get down and squat and squat. It tastes so sweet. The thirst-quenching index is dozens of times that of beef. As soon as I finished drinking, I saw that the sky began to be clouded. The next second, there was thunder. This is not good news for Yi. After all, the probability of a bald head being struck by lightning, it is several times that of hair. They rushed to find shelter nearby. This cave looks very nice. Yi got in without saying a word. Too late to live. I can only spend one night tonight. Come the next morning, Tyre was in no hurry to set off. He came to the river. I want to see if there are any supplies available. I didn't expect him to find an ancestral iron temple. Then I picked up a dry wooden stick as a drill. Returns to camp to prepare for life. Untie the shoelaces on your feet. Yi quickly processed a handmade drill, and they start to rub. It stands to reason that the climate here is hot and dry. It's not hard to live. But Yi rubbed the drill for 2.5 hours. Desi is cramped. I didn't see any Mars. Yi deduced that the altitude was too high. caused by low oxygen levels. I don't want to give up all my efforts like this. After Lord De rested for a while, he began to rub again. This time, Huan Chia lived up to the bald man. Input fire with fresh breath. The German Star Army successfully ignited the flames. Since no protein was caught today. One night on fire. Come to the third day of the challenge. In order to carry the hard-won kindling, Diges nearby found a plant called a yauleta. They burn for a long time when lit. Dig cut a piece and put it in a tin can. He packed his bags and started again. This time, Digi plans to follow the river. I found a body on the other side halfway. Digi waded to the other side. It was found to be the body of a smelly alpaca. You can't eat it, but it could be useful. Digi broke the thigh of the sheep's head with all his strength. The infrastructure above is an excellent material for making rope. De also packed up and went back on the road. They say that once a person is gone, after a while, he picked up another plastic bottle. It can be used as a water storage container. The fly in the ointment is that there's a duck neck in it. As you move forward, the terrain around it is getting more and more rugged. If you're not careful, you could be smashed to pieces. Carrying a weight of tens of kilograms, Jean De also feels miserable. I can't walk anymore. Walk cautiously to safety. De found a cave nearby. I plan to take a night off before leaving. The tinder in the tin can is still burning. De easily started a fire. Fast forward to day 4. As the saying goes, a man doesn't cry lightly. But at this time, De's eyes are rosy. Investigate the reason. It turned out that I didn't eat for 4 days and cried aggrieved. Calm down a little. De took out the essence lamb leg he had picked up before. Extract the infrastructure above. Soak it in water. Then use your own clever hands to weave into a rope. Match it with the iron hook you picked up before. A fishing rig and you're done. Using lamb leg as bait. Finally, the fish hook is fixed to the shore with branches. It's down to time. However, sitting still is not the style of De. To increase the success rate of fishing, De intends to be by the river ditch again. Circle a fishing trap. Bring a piece from the neighborhood. A large rock blocked the exit. There's only one funnel entrance left to do this. De is not idle either. Instead, look for baby geckos in the surrounding bushes. I'm going to have an appetizer. After a busy time, he really let him catch one without having to pick his head and tail. Put it directly into your mouth to crunch. Chicken flavor has the taste of chewing beef tendons. Then come and check the fishing line. Not surprisingly, there's not a hair on the line. Just when De was disheartened, the stone trap gave him a big surprise. A lucky tarant fish got lost. Take off your clothes and jump into the river proudly. Capture it effortlessly. If you are happy, you can't hold back and send it to. Don't give monsters. Deposit at a glance. It weighs 2.5. Now I can finally eat. I actually disemboweled it. Then he returned to the can and threw it directly on the fire for charcoal roasting. 15 minutes later, the aroma of tarant fish permeates the entire camp. An Englishman as a gentleman, although already hungry, that the sense of ritual that should be there must be. De holds the fish with stones. Then, start enjoying your first protein meal in 4 days. The big meal is fluffy and juicy in the mouth. Fragrant alert. Just stabbed to explode, not to mention the protein content. Thousands of times more than beef. What De ate was not even bone residue left. Every night, until the morning of the 5th day, De leaves the river and heads towards the end. And in order to figure out the way forward, De decided to climb the hillside in front of him. De uses both hands and feet. I climbed up in a while. You can see everything from up there. After De confirms the location of the snow mountain. However, after a while, the road ahead is blocked by a steep slope. It's laborious to take a detour. After much consideration, De decided to risk going down the steep slope. After a smooth landing, I see a river ahead. De wanted to go up and drink some water to quench his thirst. Unexpectedly, I approached and smelled the smell of seawater. Take a sip and it's really cool salty water. Although this river cannot be drunk. But he also told De that it was not far from the salt lake. Come to the 6th day of the challenge. Seeing that there is only 250 milliliters of water left in the bottle, De still hasn't seen the end. Hillside after hillside. This made De feel a little uneasy. In the end, they drank all the water without any supplies. De doesn't know how long he can hold on. With a smoking voice, trekked for more than 3 hours. after climbing the last hill. Finally saw the salt lake at the end. At this point, this challenge has come to a successful conclusion. Everything the starvation experts have done. Survival in the rain has achieved protein freedom. Not only eat sweet and refreshing rain cucumbers, and caught a tarrant fish with a homemade fishing gun, made a pot of chopped pepper fish head with pink bananas, drinking 80 to Assam milk tea, chewing on firm spicy fish. It's a wilderness survival show. He turned it into a paid vacation, added in Panama and Colombia. Darien Swamp, in the middle, 160 kilometers of lush neighborhoods. Not only are there many deadly animals and plants living, it is also the world's largest flower smuggling paradise. The danger level is no less than that of Thailand's Golden Triangle. However, this period, Yi single-handedly challenged it. Ride and Sit Setup Group, 9.9 yuan for a nuclear-powered speedboat with free shipping. Yi quickly reached the depths of the rainforest without any survival gear or even hair. Yi has to reach the village 30 kilometers away in 10 days. As usual, simply check the equipment first. The sun's shadow is currently due north. Yi quickly deduced. The direction you want to go is east, but he wasn't in a hurry to leave. Instead, I planned to search for supplies at the beach, and soon he found a tetanus blade and some driftwood for the fire, and from nearby picked up some brown donkey fibers as firefly material. Yi then took off. Something happened to be walking towards the river in front of me. Yi walks along him. It can save a lot of time and effort. If you are thirsty on the road, just lie down and squat. It tastes delicious. The thirst-quenching index is dozens of times that of beef. Continue to move towards the east. After more than 3 hours, it seems that the West Mountain is already on the rise at this time. Yi must always pay attention to the position of the shadow to make sure you don't make huge deviations. As you go straight ahead, the terrain around is getting more and more rugged. Yi gradually felt powerless, and he felt very sultry. You're going to get heat stroke if you move on. There's not much time left before it gets dark anyway. So Yi found an empty pen by the river. Let's rest here for the night today. Come the next morning, go to the creek first and wash up briefly, then continue on the road to survival. The terrain is as rugged as ever. Rivers are becoming united. Trek for a while. A waterfall appeared in front of him. Visually at least, if you climb up 7 or 8 meters high, it's too dangerous. After thinking for a moment, Yi still decided to go around the hillside next to him. But there was a problem. Before, he could tell his position by the sound of the river, that as it gets farther and farther from the river, Yi gradually deviated from the course. I can't hear any water. And it got worse. At this time, his mouth was already a little dry. Now he has only 2 options in front of him. Or go back the same way, or take the risk and move on. Of course, Dyer didn't want to go back with all the way up. His body is also losing water rapidly. If you can't drink any more water, I'm afraid there is a risk of heat stroke. TJ struggled to the top of the mountain. The scenery in front of you is refreshing, but Tay doesn't have time to appreciate that at this time. Simple route planning. Just keep going to the foot of the mountain. On the way, I saw an unknown fruit tree. There are long strips of fruit on it. Yi took one off. He put it in his mouth and started chewing. It tastes crunchy, tastes a bit like cucumber. Not only is it rich in a lot of water, and it can also provide a lot of extra energy for Yi. Yi ate a dozen in a row. Then continue up and down the mountain road. Arrived successfully after 2 hours on foot. I expected to find water soon, but what you see is a dry riverbed. But Yi was not angry. He searched along the riverbed. Maybe find a few remaining puddles. On the way, I saw a few water vines next to me. Historically, there's fresh water in there. Yi tried to cut off a section with a knife, but the fibers inside are dry after a few cuts. There is no need to continue. Day is unwilling to move forward. Fortunately, hard work pays off. He's in a little corner. Found a small puddle of clear water. Turbid clear. The water takes on a rich yellow color. It has reached the level of direct drinking, but considering the depths of the wild, Yi still decided to take insurance. A sand pit was dug next to it for simple filtration. Time to wait for sediment to settle. He goes nearby. I want to see if I can find a container for water. There are many smuggled rice and flour traders in this area. De also wants. It's not hard to find all their junk. The third search found several plastic bottles, but only one has a bottle cap. Return to the pool. It has been filtered almost. De is full of a bottle. And then it was time to go guzzling. Look at this color. It is similar to Assam milk tea. Drink in your mouth. The aroma of earth mixed with the smell of rotting leaves. It tastes amazing. The delicious drink makes De unable to speak human words for a while. Considering it's getting late, De rested for a night. The next day, we walked through the rainforest. Dense vegetation not only affects forward speed, and there may also be spicy strips on the tree. Fortunately, the sound of water flowing in time let De regain his confidence. Following the sound, De found a creek. Without saying a word, lie down and cool down. I saw a lot of arrogant and domineering little fish inside. Acquiring a career is tied to the heart. Decided to give them some color to see. Come to the fourth day. Cut the plastic bottle picked up a few days ago from the middle. Plug one end into the other. Inside is an unpretentious trap. As for the bait, use the few ants caught. Waiting for the trap to take effect. Tokino is going to raise the fire. Pull out the all-purpose carry. Quickly process a tool drill. By fire goes back to his old business. The environment here is hot and humid. De held the drill and rubbed it for an hour. That's 2.5. Finally got Mars. And then we put it into dried brown fish fibers. Flames burst out. Then go over and check the fishing gear. I didn't expect there to be a lot of harvest inside. 5 or 6 fish. And he grilled them on the fire. Tender and thick inside. Take a bite and it tastes crunchy. Chicken. The protein content is dozens of times that of beef. Lord De can't stop eating one bite at a time. After eating and drinking, ideology and morality begin to review today's work. Early morning on the 5th day. De can't wait to come out of the law. In order to reach the destination as soon as possible, De must leave the river and head inward. But there is no doubt it will put him in a situation of water shortage again. After walking for more than 5 hours, the water in De's bottle has cottoned out. Now he's facing dehydration again. Fortunately, after walking forward for a while, he found a stream through the woods. Hurry up and lie down to cool your forehead. After going ashore, I found someone nearby. Traces of activity. What's even more unexpected is, there is also an abandoned cooking pot next to it. This made De very happy. The previous food has always been roasted. Now there is this pot. Finally got a chance to show off your cooking skills. The first target is a reasonable little fish. De first processed an arrow from brown fish. And you attach it to a stick. Then it uses the elastic band on the backpack to provide power. A fishing gun is made. Then De went into the water to incarnate as Sea King Ant began to hunt. I saw the right time and shot a dozen times in a row. He really caught a few big ones. Not a small dog. I have to say that De really has two brushes. After going ashore, he found another banana tree and there's a bunch of bananas on it. De swung his sandbag-sized fist and elbowed frantically. Also successfully harvested a large bunch of bananas. Then put the inserted fish into the pot. Cut the banana into thick slices. Put it in a pot and simmer. 15 minutes later, ascent. The fully flavored chopped pepper fish head is freshly baked. De picked up a piece and put it in his mouth. Tastes salty and light. Neither salty nor light. The protein content is dozens of times that of beef. Eat, drink, and sleep until the next morning. Before leaving, De will fill his stomach first, and then we head off into the jungle. Until noon on the 7th day. De found that the sky was starting to clear and cloudy. This makes it difficult for him to use the sun to identify directions. He can only move towards the brightest spot. With the continuous trek, the type of vegetation around it has also changed, and they were replaced by low shrubs. That means he's coming out of the jungle. Sure enough, after passing through a forest of bananas, and there was a river. Drink 2 sips of water first, and there was a boat coming by. After some encrypted communication, make sure it's the right person. At this point, this challenge has come to a successful conclusion.